Welcome to Rewind Fast Forward with D&D, where David and Dwaine rewind a season, knowing the fast forward. Friends talking about a show we love, Stranger Things, and we have with us tonight a special guest. We have another guest coming, but our first guest tonight is KassMcquillen. Hello, Cass.
Hey guys, happy to be here.
I know, I can't wait.
Do you know it was Rick Springfield's birthday last week? He's 67.
I did not know that.
Wow.
Sorry. I don't want to pretend I'm a stalker, but it came up in my feed for some reason.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Have you gone to his house with a camera and taken pictures from the woods while he swims in his pool? And I'm sure he's got a pool.
No, Rick Springfield was my first concert.
Wow.
Oh.
And my good friend Karen Lauterbach got spat on by him at the concert. And we were all wearing matching shirts. And we, circled the spit spot on her shirt. And totally geeked out about it. Yeah. And we had a slumber party that night, and I'll never forget Karen Lauterbach and Rick Springfield.
Wow, that's awesome.
But that he's 67 is horrifying.
Yeah. So what is really cool about this show, Stranger Things, is when you're like me and David and Cass, and Kelly cannot relate to this, so we'll go ahead and talk about this before Kelley Wentworth gets on the show, we grew up. I was just a hair older than them in 1983. I was in 8th grade. 8th grade. Maybe 9th grade at the 83, 84 year. But, that's just... So I experienced this. I had those bicycles. I had those comic books. I had those walkie-talkies. I rode my bike everywhere. And then it's like Stand By Me, E.T., Goonies.
Close Encounters.
Yes, it just brings back so many wonderful memories for me.
When I watch something and I really like it, I dive into the internet about it. I research it. I wiki it. I blog it, looking for all kinds of different things. And I'm hearing my voice somewhere. Somebody got me on.
I don't know where you're. I don't. Cass you're not hearing us through your speaker on your.
I'm on headphones.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know
Is
what.
it me?
We're getting a little bit of an echo, but I don't know where it's from.
I have to. Hello. Is it me?
No, I don't.
No, it sounds like you're fine. So
I tell you what. Hold on. Let's mute her for a second and see if it. Okay, talk, David.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2.
Yeah, it's her headphones.
It's probably her microphone picking up her headphones.
Yeah.
If they're too loud.
Oh, you're going to have to unmute yourself, Cass. I can't unmute you. I can mute you, but I can't unmute you for some reason. It's up top, I think. All right,
so,
there you go.
You think my speaker is...
I think
it must be coming from your earphones.
Your earphones are picking up David. David is so loud in your earphones that your speaker is picking them up.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Basically, as long as we're not really loud in your headphones, it'll be better.
Okay, well, my daughter was on my computer.
Okay.
There you go.
So I went from researching everything about, MK Ultra and all these other things and the Flea and the Acrobat and all this kind of stuff to, the comparisons, the nostalgia comparisons. And I'm going to be honest, I got so flooded mentally and visually with nostalgia comparisons that it almost ruined me going back and watching it again. It's like seeing everything instead of the story. So it's kind of like I had to block it out. So I've been getting on my daughters about watching this. One's in college now. I told her to watch it with her roommates during the day. Don't watch it at night before going to bed.
Oh, come on.
See, I grew up I'm not a horror fan.
Wah.
I didn't even like Wizard of Oz when I was little for some reason. And my daughters blame me for them never seeing Wizard of Oz. I'm like, I didn't stop you from that. But anyway.
Wizard of Oz?
Seriously? I think we just got a confession that you did just that.
Exactly. So, anyway, But my oldest, who's going to school here now in graduate school, she's local. She came over today for lunch after church, and she said, well, let's go ahead and start watching it since I'm here. I'm like, yeah, but I'm on like episode 5, 6, and 7. I don't want to go back to 1 and 2, but okay, if you want to watch it, I'll watch it. So we watched 1 and 2. So I've watched episodes 1 and 2 for like the third or fourth time now, and they were even better than the first time I watched them. It was so good. I picked up stuff again that I didn't pick up earlier on, but I'm able to block out the nostalgia. I enjoy it. I laugh at it, but I don't see it as, oh yeah, that's from such and such, and that's from such and such. But these, to me, that just shows how good a story these guys wrote and how good a show they made, that the nostalgia doesn't jump out at me, even though I know almost 99% of the nostalgia that's in it, right, all the references and stuff. But it's still, that's just how good I think this show is. This it's just blows me away, and it's the kids. Bailey couldn't stop laughing at the kids, especially Dustin. Every time he came on and said almost anything, she loved Lucas, and she laughed at everything Dustin said.
Oh, I can't stand Lucas, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, we're in the show now.
Well, okay, as long as we're talking about the nostalgia part, I want to give y'all a link. It's in the chat room. I'm putting it in the chat room right now. This is a video that I watched. It's called Stranger Things, Every Reference and Easter Egg Explained. And he goes through every single E.T. reference, the comic book references, Goonies, all that stuff. He explains every single bit of it. The guy's like 29. I don't know how he relates to all this stuff. But nonetheless, the link is in the chat room. So www.stwdd.com/live. You can go there and scroll up and find the link. Watch the video. The guy's name is New Rockstar. That's the YouTube channel. Go ahead.
I need to see this, but I don't want to get out of my video here.
Well, no, you don't need to watch it right now. It's like 30 minutes long.
Okay.
I watched it while
on our Facebook page?
I can do that too. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go ahead and post it on our Survivor Talk page and our.
And since this is going to be an interactive podcast with our chat room, Ryan, I would, when I was finishing my notes after each episode I watched late at night, I would put on Bob's Burgers just to listen to something else before I went to bed.
You are such a wimp.
Oh my gosh, the secret scaredy cat, David Jones.
Please, that's a scaredy cat.
So you didn't see any of the Nightmare on Elm Street, Poltergeist, Firestarter type?
I did watch Poltergeist. I think I watched Firestarter. Nightmare, I just don't get anything out of those movies. If it's all about the scare, to me that's like going to a restaurant and not eating. You know, if you're not going to enjoy the whole thing, if it's something you know you're not going to like, then why watch it? So.
Well, I'm getting the distinct feeling you've never been to a Rick Springfield concert either.
No, I must confess, I missed those. I did go to Madonna, but I have never been in Rick Springfield.
Oh my God!
Back in the 80s. Back in the 80s.
Well, that's when we're at. So this is based in, I think, 83, and it's the beginning of the school year. So it's like fall, so it's getting close to winter. So it's the 83-84. So actually, technically, I was a freshman. So I was the sister's age. What's her name? Nancy or something like that?
Nancy.
Yeah. So I was Nancy's age.
How old are the boys in this?
I wasn't getting action like apparently Nancy and her.
Steve gets a lot of action.
Man, what the heck? But anyway, the boys I think are in 7th or 8th.
I think they're like not 12, 13. They're probably, 13, 14?
Changed yet, so they're probably 12.
Okay. So the beginning is November 6th, 1983. That was 2 days before my birthday, 1983. So I would have been turning 11.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So you had a crush on these boys.
Yes. They would have been, my Ricky Schroders.
Oh, neat.
So.
And David would have been.
What we decided, I was starting my junior year. November,
so you were old. You were one of those old guys.
I was more like Steve. That's right. I think he's a year older than Nancy because he almost failed a class that she's in. So that led me to believe he's a year ahead of her.
And then, so you would have been.
I'm at Steve's age, not Steve's character.
Yeah, you would have been Jonathan's age, Will's older brother.
That's hard to tell what grade he's in.
Yeah. Man. Okay.
But I did like the Clash. I will say that.
All right, so I have to admit, but by the way, David's in the Upside Down world right now. Say hi, David, from the Upside Down world.
Hi from the Upside Down world.
He's eating an Eggo.
I am Eggos. I can grab one. Do we want to have an Eggo party?
Oh,
sure.
Wow.
Let's eat 11 Eggos. throughout
No,
the podcast.
I am not doing that.
We did that once. We did it with donuts.
Yeah,
That
we did it
wasn't
with
fun.
donuts, and I'm trying to lose weight. I've been working out every day, so
Man, these are really good. I
yeah,
haven't had one in a while.
yeah. Oh my gosh, like the old Coca-Cola commercials and the old TV and
Speaking of old TV, there was one pretty bad mistake. In the early on,
we're not talking about mistakes.
in the very first episode, we get the glimpse of the idiot father, who I almost think he works for the government with his answers
Yeah.
and everything else.
Gosh.
He's trying to watch Lethal Weapon because it's Mel Gibson with his shaggy hair on the TV in a car. And Lethal Weapon didn't come out till 87. In fact, the show's in 83.
Oh, come on. They wouldn't have made that kind of mistake.
That would be such an... Really? What else was he in with a shaggy mullet?
I
Yeah.
looked back in IMDb and I couldn't find anything. So maybe he is in something else, but it really looks like Lethal Weapon. That's
I just can't see them doing that, making that kind of mistake. I mean, they paid so much attention to so many details.
Yes,
To
they
make
did.
that kind of mistake would be very
Man,
odd.
these actors are good. These are really good.
Hey, it's Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hello, how are you?
So, how did you enjoy your date? Was it good? Was it fun?
No, it's like a family dinner. Everyone's downstairs and I'm up here right now.
Oh, I'm so
So-
sorry. Do you
so
need to
I-
go back? I mean, you don't have to.
No, I mean, I'll hang out for a little bit, but probably not too long.
What's
Okay.
up, Kelly?
Going on me. Hey, Cass, how are you?
Hey, everybody, it's Kelley Wentworth.
Oh, hello.
That's right.
I was just trying to be more like Colton is what I was trying to do.
Yeah, be late.
Yeah, but you got to be in a loud bar and have people
Yeah.
screaming behind you.
Yeah,
I know. What are you guys talking about?
Stranger Things.
Is the
The
show on
80s.
Netflix?
Yeah,
What about it? Well, yeah, I know.
we were actually talking about how old we were at that time of the, in 1983.
Oh, yeah, I
weren't
wasn't born.
You weren't even a sultry thought on Dale's mind in 1983.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna drink whenever we mention anything about Dale procreating.
Okay. I am not right now.
Oh man.
Okay.
Hey
Dwayne,
Kelly,
take it
did you
back.
check your calendar? Are you going to be able to do a pre-season show with us?
Haven't even been able to check it. I'm sorry.
All right, we'll
I've
talk
been
about
so
it later.
busy. We'll talk.
That's all right.
You know where to message me.
I know.
Yeah, and don't bug her tomorrow because it's Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh. Okay.
I'm so far behind. But that's another show.
All right.
Let's get back to what you guys were talking about.
All right, Stranger Things. So, I was one of those that was a late, not too late. I would think people watching it now are definitely late adopters. Okay, but I started seeing things about it, and I have a tendency to shy away from everybody's watching this. You got to watch it. So I didn't watch it, but then David binged watched it. Instead of watching one and then going, Dwayne, we need to podcast about this, he watched all of them and then said, Dwayne, you need to watch it. And I watched it all in like 2 days.
I was seeing the same notes and the same tweets, and it was actually Fishback's tweet that said, "Why has this not been in my life?" or something like that. And I said, "All right, he's a smart guy. I'll give it a shot."
Wait a
And
minute. Let's be honest. Fishback is missing a lot of things in his life.
Okay,
He tweets about it all the time. Like, why? How have I lived this long?
I'm trying to remember
Boy.
why I was on Twitter because I don't like getting on Twitter, but I did see that. So I started watching it, and about 4 episodes in, I thought I should tell Dwayne about this. But then I had to get to the next episode. So after 8 episodes, I said, Dwayne, you really should try this show. And then Dwayne, 5 minutes in, says, I'm already hooked, and I'm really mad at you for not telling me to watch this at the same time you were watching it.
Man, I was hooked when the guy got snatched out of the elevator.
That's what I was guessing.
The opening scene, he gets snatched out of the elevator, and then it goes to the yard, and the kids playing D&D, which of course, hey. But
That's when I was hooked. I was
thought,
remembering my brothers making me be a troll all the time.
yeah, I was thinking, E.T., oh my gosh, this is a scene from E.T. Oh, I was so hooked.
And
That-
the
that was-
banana seats. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my moment as well because the first scene was like something you may have seen somewhere else, but when these kids were playing D&D, and the moment they had with Will, where the
Yeah.
Gorgodon shows up, I have one of those moments from D&D.
Kelly.
I know Kelly's going, what are y'all talking about? Okay.
You guys,
Kel-
it's probably a good thing I won't be here for this whole thing. I honestly, in the beginning part, I I didn't realize which kid was stolen because they look the same to me.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
All kids just look like...
They all look alike.
They're all
wait,
just
so the
things
kid's back
to
at
me.
his house the next morning? What's going
You're
on?
such an ageist.
All right, so the parents are going to talk about this more for a while, where the non-parents going to sit and listen for a while. I had the same moment where when you play D&D, when the guy drops the monster, you have to act. And I was not paying. I was still new to this game. I wasn't paying attention to where I was standing, and I wanted to be cool. I wanted to save everybody. So as soon as he announced the monster, I threw an attack. And my friend said, "Congratulations, you just hit so-and-so in the back of the head. Now he's out, and he can't make an attack either." So it is a quick game like that where you got to make that decision. But like I said, as soon as that happened, that's when I was hooked. When I saw they were playing that game, and everything came back from these other shows and movies.
I had PTSD because I actually shared a bedroom with my brother all my life, who was 2 years older than me, until I fled. And him and his friends, if they weren't, and I would be Barb in this situation. My brother would be making out with Potter girl, and I would be in the upper bunk getting rocked around or something. After, and then there was D&D that went on, Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. And they would never let me be anything but a troll or a gnome or something with no power and no use, and all I ever had was an axe. And so I was this is I would be a younger girl walking in, witnessing these beasts coming, and maybe I would steal a die every now and then to piss them off,
just to make them mad.
But
wow.
And there was graph paper involved, as I recall. They would build their dungeons and have graph paper and
I'm ashamed to admit that's how you tracked your path and measured your steps. And I've still got my dice. I really shouldn't say that. Anyway.
I wasn't allowed to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, my parents didn't know.
It was evil.
I went to a friend's house.
Well, now that I live in Texas, I've realized that some people don't allow their children to read Harry Potter.
Well, some people are like that too. Yeah,
I
guess they don't let them watch Wizard of Oz either. I guess I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. I'm fitting right in.
Well, I bet you are. So Kelly, why don't you tell us when
I'm just listening to all of this. This is
when you started liking the show and what do you like about it? And
I really like the music.
Oh, the music is amazing.
No, I thought it was interesting. Go ahead, Cass. What?
Do they have a soundtrack out?
I think they might.
They should be able to beat Hamilton, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Look this up, someone, please.
I don't know, but there's no Funkos out yet, and there's not too many posters out yet, but they'll be coming.
But the Funko makers are drawing them and teasing us with them.
They just got to get permission to release them.
I mean, honestly, the music, even in the intro, with the font on the screen, it just reminded me of all the movies from the 80s.
Right. And which movies? The Stephen King movies.
Yep.
Those are the fonts that were on the Stephen King books.
You're right.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Really nice.
Yeah, my father had those in his on his bookshelf, I remember.
Ryan in our chat room thinks they did release a soundtrack, so look for it. It might be out there. Yeah. But use our Amazon link if you do, and that's where you'll find it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course.
So, Kelly, what draws you to this? Because we're just old people being nostalgic.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, I had heard nothing about it, and then Arlen said, "Oh, someone's told me about this show. I've watched an episode. It's great. You have to watch it." And so half the time he does that, and I don't pay attention. I just say, "Okay, yeah, sure, honey," and never watch it.
You're not even married yet. That's pretty good.
Yeah, right? Okay. Yeah,
You're already learning.
I've learned. Yeah. And so then I just watched an episode, and I don't know. I just really liked it. I guess I don't have all the same memories you guys have, but I just kind of liked the way it was filmed, and like I said, the music was cool. And I don't know. I liked the story, so.
So have you seen E.T. and Goonies and all those and Stand By Me?
I have not seen Goonies. I've seen Stand By Me and I've seen E.T. I know.
Kelly, I can send it. You can send it.
Oh my God!
It's on Netflix, I think.
Even my daughter has seen it.
Okay.
I wrote love letters to Sean Astin. And I really identified with Martha Plimpton. That's probably why I associate with Barb so much. She's the Martha Plimpton from Goonies.
Oh, Barb is so... frumpy.
I like Barb.
I was just thinking, Kelly's gonna watch all these movies now and go, oh, that's just like Stranger Things. They stole from Stranger.
Yeah. Oh, isn't it cool how E.T. borrowed from Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Hey.
You know, the only thing missing from Stranger Things for me, there were two gentlemen I needed to see, and one was Ricky Schroeder. Okay? And the other one is Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
More
wow.
bacon.
Wait till season 2.
Yeah, Kevin
Is there
Bacon's
going to
gonna
be a
make it.
season 2?
Yeah, there's
Yes,
going to be a
there
barn
is.
scene with Kevin Bacon. And then Ricky
Kevin
Schroeder's
Bacon?
going to ride a train through someone's living room.
Yes.
Oh my.
There is
Oh
going
my
to be a
God.
season 2, and I was
Okay.
reading an article about it. They would love to pick up right in December where they left off. But, what's his name? Dustin's voice has already changed. So even when they went back to do voiceover stuff, I think it's called ADR, at the end, they had to pitch up his voice because his voice was already changing. So what they're going to do is they're going to make it a year later. So they're going to give us some of the backstory of what's happened since then, but it's going to be a year later. So because the kids will have grown a year. That's what, it's like the Harry Potter movies. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, you aged a lot in a year, Wow, you're a 20-year-old, 15-year-old. Wow. So they're going to avoid
True.
that by
Okay.
well, plus they're going to make it every year, unlike Harry Potter, so you won't have that issue. But yeah, they're saying all the main characters are going to be back, especially the kids.
All right, so let's answer the first question in our chat room. Is Dr. Brenner coming back?
But Kelly has her finger up. Okay.
If 11 is not in season 2, I'm not watching.
She will be in season 2.
She'll be in season 2 because he's leaving Eggos.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she'll be in season
Want to
2.
say hi?
Well, okay. She was the unexpected hit of the show.
She was
She's
amazing.
phenomenal. She's
Yeah.
so good.
Amazing.
She was amazing, and
She's a
there's
great
no way.
actress. Yeah.
There's
She
no
got-
way they would
she
do
got-
it without her.
She got more out of one-word lines than anybody I think I've ever
You have
seen.
to get
Yeah.
in here. Sarah, that's
Yeah.
us.
You know what's amazing is these kids now have the power of getting a lot of money on season 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Show me
I
your
think we
cup,
should
Sarah.
renegotiate our contract.
Cass, is that the monster that's supposed to be in bed?
Yeah.
She's drinking out of her Star Wars cup.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
way to go! Hey, ask her if she likes Texas.
Do you like Texas? Go to bed. Why are you guys still up? School starts here at like 7:45,
Yes.
so they have to get a move on.
Putting kids to bed.
Get out of the room so you can talk about
It's
Rick
Mr.
Schroeder
Cass
again.
doing it. Hey, Mark, wave. No.
Mark's like, I'm
He's
not
like,
waving.
see ya. I don't want anything to do with this.
No. Hey, nice shirt there, Cass. I really like it.
You know who got it for me was Will.
Oh yeah, Will bought it for you. That's right.
Yes. I think he just wanted my address.
Yeah, I think so. and that's why you moved. That's right.
Yeah. I get more stalking in Texas than anywhere. It's great.
Yeah. So Kelly, was there anything that stood out for you in the show that like really caught you?
I feel like I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be able to have any of the same connections that you guys have.
That's okay. I want to know what grabbed you. What made you want to watch the next episode?
I think it was Arlen.
Yeah,
It was
Arlen.
Arlen making
Arlen
me watch
grabbed
the
her.
first episode. Yeah. We're
Well, no,
watching this.
It's interesting that you like it, Kelly. I mean, I have a friend. We have some friends who were over last night, and the husband is my age, and the wife is in her 30s, and she hates the show. And
Oh,
he's
really?
the chief of police in a neighboring town, and he loves the sheriff and the 80s references and stuff. But she was saying she can't stand it. And then she said in
Why?
episode 4 she started getting into it. But for this week she's been texting me saying I hate this show, and then I guess episode 4 caught her in.
Weird. What happened in episode 4?
Maybe she just gave in.
I'm not sure because episode 5 is where it really began to. Okay, now I know what's going on. because I saw some people in our Facebook group, in our Survivor Talk group, that were like, guys, I cannot get into this because I don't know what the heck's going on, which for me...
Yeah, but that's what I like about it.
I know.
I like that there's all these weird little pieces, and you're like, oh, what's that? And
Right.
Why is that happening here? Like, I like those kind of things. So
See, for me, that was part of the draw. I didn't know what was going on. And episode 5 was kind of like, well, crud, now I know what's going on. But, but it still played out really well, so I enjoyed it.
Two of the things that I really liked about it, one was the editing. Whereas when the next episode picked up, you were 1 second later than the last episode ended.
Yeah.
There was no build up from the last episode. There wasn't a different plot line. It usually shows you the same thing, and I really liked that. But what I also liked was the show really moved along and letting some of the second and third characters catch on to what character A was talking about. When Hopper started talking to Joyce, like, you're right. But even earlier on, he was starting to listen to her and starting to wanting to pay more attention to her, as in she's crazy, but she admits it sounds crazy. But the characters, to me, came along quicker than they would in other shows. Something like in Lost. It took 6 freaking seasons for some people to catch on in Lost. And that just got frustrating after a while. But, I mean, in this show, they catch on pretty quick.
Right.
And I really like that about the show. It developed quick, it moved quick, and I like that part about the editing.
Yeah.
But that's a Netflix phenomenon, is because most people who watch on Netflix just binge.
Right.
So you don't have this week, I have to wait till next Monday or Wednesday or DVR it or whatever. It's kind of like you can sit down and just watch a few episodes and then the next night watch a few more and you're over it. So they don't have to do all this build-up because they know that they have this continuous stream. It's almost like a super long movie instead of a TV show.
Right.
Right.
I mean, so with that format, it's just changing the way we watch things.
It really is. It'll be interesting to see how we're watching TV in 5 years. Like ABC's going to say, okay, we're going to show it every week, but here's all the episodes. Watch it online.
Exactly.
So they're still 20 years behind the networks trying to charge you to watch shows that are on TV for free.
Right. So Chief Hopper, when I first saw Chief Hopper, I didn't think I was going to like him. But as he came around and realized that there was something to this, I started liking him more. But I thought his daughter had been kidnapped, is what I thought.
I thought it was 11.
My friends currently think it's 11. My friends who are on episode 4 think it's 11.
Oh, well, it's not.
Well, I didn't tell them.
Spoiler. No.
I did not spoil it for them, but I think a lot of people felt that way.
Oh, I did feel that way for a while, yeah.
Yeah, I think I had that, this is 11.
Yeah, for 50 minutes. So that's the thing. We don't have a whole week.
Obvious?
Yeah, it's we don't have a whole week like we did with Lost to agonize over it. What's going to happen next week? Which I kind of miss that just a little bit, I kind of want to watch season 2 one episode a week, but I don't think I'll be able to.
You can't restrain yourself. No, it's good to just sit.
No, we're gonna watch one every couple days. We're not gonna make it a whole week. That's not gonna work. Or else I'm gonna get ahead of you and you're gonna hate me for it. So.
But okay.
I can't remember what happens. I
need
to watch 4 in a row. I can't remember what's happened 4 episodes ago.
I never thought she was Hopper's daughter. I never got that. But one thing I missed the first time I watched it was he's from that area, because he used to have a science teacher that the science teacher remembered. So he's from that area. He went to the city to be a police officer and then came back. Am I mistaken in that?
Well, he's only been a police officer a couple of years there.
It seemed like he'd only been away for a year. Or he's only been there for a year. I guess he's only come back.
He's been a sheriff for 3 years.
Yeah, he came back from the big city.
But he's from that area, so he's originally...
Oh, yeah, and he's totally had an affair with Winona.
Mm-hmm.
See, my daughter asked me that at the start of the second episode. Yeah. Bailey goes, okay, did those two kind of hook up or something? I said, I'm not telling you anything. All right, so, yes. So, anyway.
Hey, tidy whities were the thing in the 80s. Chill out.
I love that. I was like, oh, my God, it's my dad walking around. And then I was like, oh, my God, it's my husband, but in tidy whities. Oh, yeah.
So I never thought, like I said, the point I was making, I never thought that 11 was Hopper's. My question is, are either Will or Jonathan Hoppers?
What?
Wait, why?
Because he hooked up with Joyce.
I didn't catch that.
No.
But you see,
that's a whole
but listen, But listen, there's a theme.
This isn't Lifetime Channel, David.
There's a whole theme from Joyce about she feels he's close. She feels he's alive. To me, that's like a maternal thing. That's a mother's child thing. And as the season progresses, watch Hopper and his intention and the way he talks about Will and how he says, I'm going to get him back. To me, stop shaking your head. Nobody's talking to you right now. It's the way he's talking about getting him back. To me, it makes me want to, and then Bailey even had the same thought. Could one of them be Hoppers? So,
do we all agree neither one are Hoppers?
They're not Hoppers. Hoppers doesn't have children, but
he would have been
sympathizes. This is like his high school sweetheart is Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe Jonathan and Will's dad stole her from Hopper is probably the more likely story.
Well, the way Lonnie talks about Hopper. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Everyone thought she was crazy, so I think he was just trying to be...
Yeah, David.
I mean, somebody had to believe her. Come on.
She was going crazy, though. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah, she was right.
I know, but
actually, those Christmas lights were like my mother-in-law's house.
Oh, how about the scene? How about the scene when the when the little girl is following the lights down the hall?
Oh my God!
What about the rope and they're coming out of Poltergeist? Like they're being sucked out of the TV realm.
Yes.
There's so much in there. Kelly, have you seen Poltergeist?
No.
Don't. It's horrible.
Okay, yeah, no.
But if you sat through it as a child, there's things you remember,
and there's some scenes in this that go back to Poltergeist.
A lot of it reminded me of Poltergeist.
Yeah, like when the little girl's standing in front of the wall. That's kind of like the Poltergeist girl standing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like you said, the rope.
Them pulling people out, like getting sucked out of some...
Who wants to be the guy that has to get attached to the rope? You are basically a fishing lure.
And, okay, did anyone know who Matthew Modine was? I knew the name, but I couldn't place him in a movie.
Yeah, he's in Full Metal Jacket. He's in Vision Quest. He's in...
an
couple
80s
of things.
music movie. Yeah.
No,
I kept thinking he was maybe Tommy Howell for a while.
Hey, look, I'm on.
No, from Outsiders, no. That's C. Thomas Howell. No, that's not. Different ones, right? But yeah, he was in Full Metal Jacket. He was in a bunch of different things.
He kind of looks like if Ted Danson and like Donald Sutherland had a child.
All right, back in '83, he was in. Wow, these are horrible movies. Baby, It's You, Private School.
Yeah.
Dreamers. Yeah.
I didn't say he was good. I just said he was in a few things.
That was what's so random is I recognized his name, but I couldn't place his face. Anyway, Vision Quest would be the one where he's the guy trying to like lose weight to get on the wrestling team and always having bloody noses, and his dad's a bully. I remember that one.
And he's having an affair with an older woman. Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Not an affair, just a relationship.
Kelly's like, why am I here?
She's like, I have family downstairs.
So... Oh my God.
Kelly, you do not have to stay. You do not have to stay.
You don't have to come to our reunion with us.
You get 5 more minutes.
Okay, we get 5 more minutes.
So wait, let's get Kelly's input here, though. What is good about it? I mean, we're all nostalgic, but what would draw people who were not familiar with all this to it? Just the plot and the editing and...
Yeah, I like the editing. I think, like I said earlier, I actually liked in all the episodes where some stuff was confusing and I didn't know what was going on. But I also like stuff like that. Like, I don't want things that are just straightforward. So I enjoyed that. I just thought the characters were really good, too. Like, I like seeing a lot of actors that we'd never seen before.
Yes.
Just really incredible. I thought that was really cool. I liked it. Like, the one friend, the, like, chubbier friend with the curly hair, like, I loved him.
Dustin.
I thought he was okay. Thank you. See, I don't even know names. So
Bailey laughed at everything he said. Every time he spoke, Bailey was laughing.
Yeah, you know what I love about him is he doesn't have his front teeth. And nowadays, if your child is in kindergarten and loses a front tooth that's going to grow in a year, people go get a cap. And here's this kid in like middle school who's gone his whole life with no front teeth and is like, they're going to come in, you know. But you go to, I remember in kindergarten, you know, there's always that boy, you know, usually, I'm not even going to say a name, but I could, who just busts out his front teeth early. And then his parents have to go get him. They don't have to, but they do now. They replace the teeth that are going to grow in anyway. So as a mom and having seen all these kids at school with fake teeth because they've done stupid things to knock them out, I'm like, no, in the 80s, you were going to lisp for 15 years if you had to. Nobody's going to pay for an implant for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dustin was hilarious.
Yeah, I loved him.
Is it Lucas? Lucas annoyed the heck out of me.
Yes.
Oh, man,
The one
he
that
annoyed
was
me.
skeptical?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was like
him.
he was
a
like
turd.
he was like Michael on Lost. Almost not as bad as Michael on Lost, because Michael on Lost I couldn't even watch. If he was on the screen, I fast forwarded it. I couldn't stand it. But Lucas was always so negative and so mean and everything.
Yeah, I didn't like him either.
Yeah, but Lucas was about getting back to Will. It seemed like that he didn't accept the fact that she could help them for a while until late, like 8th or 9th episode. He finally came around. But at the same time, he was the other I know, but he was the voice that said we got to get back to Will. We're not finding Will. We're dealing with this girl that you seem to have a crush on. So I mean, Dustin's the one that pointed out, said, "Look, dude, you guys are best friends, but you're eyeing this girl more than now than you're talking to your best friend."
Yeah, he was jealous.
Lucas and Barb totally should have hooked up.
Oh, going back to Barb, did they not put if you want to find a pair of pants that can make you look fatter than you really are, wear the pants that Barb wore.
Okay,
I think that was the point, though.
Barb's fashion is on point for 1983, though. The little floofy collar, the Linda Ellerby glasses. I mean, I gotta say, I identified greatly with her.
Kelly's going, I'm so glad I wasn't born in 1980.
I liked it. It looked very comfortable.
Yes. Well.
Yeah, Barb was not a slave to fashion.
Oh my gosh! But oh boy, she had the grossest scene in the whole thing. When that stuff spews out of her mouth at the beginning of episode 3.
I don't know why you're so anti-Barb.
No, I'm not anti-Barb at all.
I'm anti that loser guy that the friend was hooking up with. And his like
Steve.
weird curly Q hair. I didn't like him.
Steve's not even hot. I was like, really?
No.
No, not.
Yeah. No.
And then what the heck? They end up together at the end? What? Why wasn't she with Jonathan at the end?
Why wasn't she with? Yes, thank you. She should have been.
What the heck?
Well,
Because
really
didn't you all watch Speed? Didn't you watch Speed? Keanu Reeves makes it very clear that people that meet in tragic situations that get together don't last. So she was going with the boy that she thought she was in love with.
Oh gosh. Oh, and by the way, you can't fool your mama.
You know Steve's gonna die, right? We all know in season 2 Steve's gonna be the first one to die.
I thought Steve was gonna die this season. In whatever episode where the monster
in the last
was coming.
house. Yeah, in the house at the end. I thought
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was going to step in the bear trap or something and get taken down.
I mean, there were so many points where it's such an 80s horror movie where they're like, don't go into the room with the chainsaws, and everyone goes in.
Yeah, don't go into the tree with an open hole that's breathing.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
like, Steve is our guy. Steve's our guy who's going to... Mark my words, within 3 episodes, season 2, Steve is out.
Yeah.
Hey, once again, Dustin is a voice of reason. Don't y'all find it strange that we're going back to the place where Will disappeared in the dark when it's raining and we got no weapons? I'm like, I'm with you, Dustin. I'm completely with you. Why are you there?
That's Dustin's role in the show, though, is to be the person that the logical viewer identifies with. Because this is all being told by kids, kind of.
Right.
So they have to have one kid who's kind of like the jerky adult who keeps being like, this is so unrealistic. You know.
But that's also, I think, Lucas sometimes. Lucas does that too, but Dustin's the one that gets spit dropped in his hand and he looks at it for 5 minutes. And just after they shake hands with the spit, and it's hilarious.
Lucas is just fun, though, when he does it. He's like, come on, guys.
Dustin. And then she just kind of... Dustin goes, and he went like... and he did it like twice, you know?
Which is exactly what a kid that age would do.
I know.
Yeah.
It reminded me of...
I love all these actors. All these kids are great. Really.
I don't know if they did this on purpose, but it reminded me of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. When the guy keeps on saying, did you see the way she just shot on out there? The way she just shot on out there. He said it like 28 times in the first 10 minutes.
But that's what this age will do until they're heard, right? They'll just repeat until someone's like, okay, we get it. Get your front teeth and then we'll talk.
That was so funny, though. She went to change clothes and all the boys go, oh my gosh, no, no.
Oh my God.
That was hilarious.
That was
Kelly,
awesome.
Kelly's like, wow. Are you
Wait,
in
I
the
do have
upside
a-
down?
I do have a
Here,
question.
Kelly.
I
Ask
have a
us,
question.
Kelly.
Join me,
Ask us.
Kelly.
Why does she bleed so much when it's like extra forceful?
Because
Well.
in the 80s, whenever you thought really hard, your nose would bleed.
It was the atmosphere.
Is that really?
Well, in the
How?
movies.
I think in the movies, yeah, it was a sign of like mental powers being used.
Weird. I didn't really like that very much.
I think it was to show us that it was hurting her, and
Okay.
that it required a lot, that it took a lot out of her.
It also let us know what was happening. Like when she was misguiding their compasses, Lucas caught that she was wiping her nose. So
Right.
it was a mechanism to let us know she was using her powers.
Like, remember when Abby had to keep her mouth shut? Sometimes she'd get a nosebleed.
Cass, I don't think that ever happened. Actually.
No, it didn't.
She never kept it shut. Never had a nosebleed.
Oh, she didn't have that much control.
Oh,
Oh,
Sorry.
man.
that's
Trying
awesome.
to bring a little light to this.
I know, it's all good.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Well-
Kelly, I have a feeling like you want to go back to your family, and we are
Yeah,
thankful
hold on.
that you.
My earbud came out.
What?
Her earbud
My
came
earbud
out.
came out.
Oh, okay. Well, tell your family thank you for letting us borrow you for a little while.
I will. Look at this bookshelf behind me. This is Arlen's
Okay.
dad's house. He's like got all sorts
I
of
was trying to see what's back there.
I don't know.
Here, let me put
It's
you
like
on
a
the
whole
screen.
bunch of stuff. I
Is there
can't even get that
Stephen
close.
King? What is that?
I hope you've
What?
like pre-looked at these,
I don't know.
so we don't get surprised.
There's books in a Raisin Bran box. Oh, where is it?
No, there's
Oh.
not. Wow.
Oh, what's going on there?
I don't know. Those
Wait,
are
let's
special.
analyze this. We're seeing your hairline.
There's
Yeah.
some stranger things than those bookshelves.
Yeah, we're not really
Is there
seeing
any
the bookshelf
Stephen
right now,
King?
Kelly.
I don't know.
All we're seeing
Maybe
is
up
you.
Here. Well, because I can't show you. It's too dark in here.
Oh, okay.
Well,
There's this.
Oh, wow.
There's
Oh, is it
there's
this-
no. I'm sorry. There's no.
is he into musicals?
No. There's a Walt Whitman
Arlen's
book.
dad with D&D.
You say that with this
It's time for me to go.
Walt Whitman
It's
book.
time for me
What the
to
hell
go.
is that?
Yeah. And on that note, it's time to say bye to Kelly.
Oh wait, there's a Superman book. You can't even
There's
see
alley
it.
oop.
He's got a lot of like comic-y weird things.
Yeah.
You know, this is the man you will be married to in a while. You know, Arlen will turn into his father, so you should
right.
really be using this time wisely.
I know. I should. I'm gonna stay up here a little longer.
Yeah, act like you were on our show for a good hour and a half.
Good idea.
All right,
I'm
check
gonna
your
go, guys.
calendar and get back with me about
Wait, when
pre-show
is it?
stuff.
When is that?
Uh,
out?
Thursday's,
a week
Thursday's coming
from-
up.
Well, a week from Thursday is when we were wondering if you wanted to come on. On our
Oh, I heard nothing of that, but okay.
a week from Thursday, whenever we do all our predictions
Okay.
and everything.
Okay, sounds good. I'm still looking for Stephen King. Okay, I gotta go.
All right, bye, Kelly.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Buy some good Stephen King books. All right.
Okay,
Poor Kelly.
let's us adults get back to this. You know,
Oh. Let's old fogies get back to this show.
I mean, no one's gonna. We're talking nostalgia, right?
Yeah, well, we have been, yeah.
Is that is the draw?
Yeah. Now, what did you think about Nancy? Steve, okay, we've already said Steve wasn't like the hunk. Well, Nancy was just kind of your normal average girl.
She was super skinny.
She needed some fat pants. She
Yeah.
needed some pants to make her look a little bigger.
I mean, she
She
is
was so
pretty, but
tiny.
she wasn't like well, she was who they made her out to be. She was the really smart girl who all of a sudden one of the popular guys is showing her attention. So I thought they cast her really well.
I think they
Mhm.
cast everyone really well. And
Yeah.
remember, in the 80s, when you went to school, there weren't that many people concerned wearing makeup and stuff. The girls weren't like they are today. They were just we didn't
Yeah.
have all these social images, like social media bombarding us with
Right.
people with plastic surgery and makeup and all this going on. So I like that they cast people who look like we did. Like the kids, they're all kind of goofy in their own way. Like none of them are perfect.
So I don't know if they meant to write this in, but it was obvious the second time even more so that Nancy changed Steve because she said, I'm not so-and-so, 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 and so-and-so, but suddenly he was committed to one girl. She pushed him away at times. She didn't give in until that time, but still, I don't know if that was even a plot point.
3 dates, David? Come on.
She changed,
yeah,
can I finish my point?
Come on. She didn't really put him off that long.
However, at the end, he came back when easily he didn't have to. So he obviously was a different person by the end than he was in the beginning.
Well, yeah, they definitely showed that change. To me, that change was kind of abrupt.
It was pretty abrupt because having been the Barb, I mean, no one that I would have hung out with would have, well, we didn't have a Nancy in our crew, and no one certainly would have gone to some guy's house and gotten all drunk and,
Yeah.
But I think for purposes of plot in the show, they had to accelerate that.
Right. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that she was able to handle that beer can the way that she did. I didn't expect her to be able to pop it and down it the way she did.
What about Steve's two friends who were just total
I was
turds?
So hoping they'd get picked up by the monster. I was so hoping they would take them out.
They weren't really good 80s characters. They were more like 90s.
Yes.
You know what?
The
You're
mean
right.
girls, yeah.
Yep. They were more like that. Although there were mean kids in the 80s. I mean, it's not like they weren't mean kids.
Yeah, but I think when you didn't have all this social media and stuff, people weren't as mean, like all the time.
Yeah.
No, maybe they are.
You had to go out of your way to be mean because you had to do it in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're going to take voyeuristic photos, don't, or at least lock the door before you
Go in the dark room?
Yeah, before you go in the dark room.
Oh my
Golly.
goodness.
What was he thinking?
You know what? I was a journalism major in college, and I remember going in the dark room a lot. And, of course, anyone who's studying photojournalism is going to take pictures they're not supposed to, and they're going to use the community facility to develop them.
Yes.
And so I could relate to that. Jonathan in there, like, developing photos in the community lab,
Yeah.
That he wasn't supposed to because there was no digital cameras.
Right. Where else is he supposed to do it?
Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty clever scene, actually.
Yeah.
I want to get into the monster.
Okay.
Because there's a couple different theories going around about the monster, and I want to hear what y'all's thoughts are on what it is, how did it come to be. Do y'all have any thoughts on that? Because I've read a couple different things about that. And what are y'all's thoughts on that?
I think it's Ray's father.
What?
Kidding. From Star Wars.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I was surviving. I was
wow.
solving all the mysteries at once.
That was current nostalgia. That wasn't past nostalgia. I had to catch up to that one.
Yeah. Wow.
No.
If you, I just think he's a being that lives on the upside down. That lives in the upside down world. He's just a monster that lives over there.
I didn't research all these fleas on tightropes like some people did.
I don't really.
But it reminded me of like Alien. Maybe.
It did, yeah, with the eggs and everything, yeah.
But then there was a poltergeist feel for me. So.
Let me share. I'll share with you the two trains of thought that I found most interesting. And there is, when I was researching the flea and the acrobat, there actually is a better example out there. That wasn't the best example. It's more of a sandwich thing. And but basically you got two slices of bread with something in the middle. And the way you get from one side or the other is either you make a black hole or you make a wormhole, like he was telling them. But if you make a black hole, if y'all, like from Star Trek, when you make a black hole, it sucks everything in. And it's like you're squeezing your fingers together, and that would destroy anybody or squash anybody going through. But if you take like a toothpick and make a hole, like a wormhole, like they were trying to do, then you've got a passageway through. To me, that's a better explanation than the acrobat and the flea, because the flea should have to absorb to the laws of gravity like the acrobat. But anyway, getting to the monster. There's two trains of thought, and one is the Gorgodon. The Gorgodon, if you look at it, is a two-headed monster.
Yes.
It has a light side and a dark side. And so many times we kept hearing from Lucas and from 11, what if she's the monster? I think I'm the monster. So, and it makes sense at the end when the monster left, she left.
Ah.
You know, it makes sense when she pointed out Will's picture on the frame, and then she pointed out Barb's picture. She had deep reactions to both those
Did she
pictures.
point out Barb's picture?
No, she didn't point. She was up there by herself, and her face, her incredible acting face, made a completely different face when she saw Barb's picture. She looked across Nancy's pictures, and there's one with Barb, and the camera goes to 11, and then it goes right back to Barb. She recognized them because she's seen them either through the monster or with the monster. So, and that's amazingly what a Gorgodon is. It's a two-headed Dungeons and Dragons monster that if it looks at you with both heads, it hypnotizes you, so to speak. So that's one theory, is that she is split with the monster. The monster is like a dark side of her, and she's like the light side of it. It's a really interesting thing. However, I was on YouTube randomly the other night after watching an episode, and I hit something about explaining 11 or something like that. It was something that popped up on my screen, and there's this guy that has this theory that 11 is 11. So what happened to 1 through 10? What if the monster is one of the 1 through 10s that's still in the Upside Down and has evolved and become kind of a Gollum, where Gollum used to be a hobbit, now Gollum's a golem. And what if this monster, Tulip Head, whatever you want to call him, went from being a 1 through 10 test subject and was in there for so long, and it's so dark, has now become this man with no face monster that feeds off things and is trying to recreate other things by planting all these worms and stuff in them. I thought that was very fascinating.
What if it is numbers 1 through 10 and is trying to suck in 11, and 11 is resisting?
There you go. It could be a culmination of all of them where they've just absorbing. Number 1 is absorbing all the other ones that keep coming in.
Or it's just an animal or a being that lives on the Upside Down world that she ends up killing. And
are we talking over your head? I'm sorry, Dwaine. We'll come back down to you.
Well, she can communicate with it. As we saw, she gets in the water tank.
Yeah.
And can communicate. I also liked all that photography when they're in their little masks and it seems like they're underwater.
Yeah.
The scientists, or Matthew Modine and his crew. That was very interesting to me, that it made it look like they were in a placenta or something underwater.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think the monster from this season is dead, and we're going to have a new monster in second season, and it's going to be a lot of it's going to probably deal with Will.
Is there a 12?
Well, I don't know that there's a 12, but they opened the D&D with the Gorgamon or whatever. And this is something I got from that video. But at the end of the series, they put out a different monster at the end of it. And I think I think that's playing into season 2. And then of course Will, I mean, he's got something going on with him. You know,
definitely.
And he wasn't surprised in the sink throwing up a worm. That wasn't the first time that happened.
Maybe Will is 12.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he flashed between the Upside Down and the right side up, so right there in the bathroom. He saw it, so he's got a tie back to the Upside Down. That's a good point. He could be by default. He could be number 12.
But no. Well, I don't think so, because I think the 11 is someone that was in the testing stuff. He's just a kid that got taken by the monster.
Mm-hmm.
The monster's not part of the crew that makes 1 through 11.
But 11's just there to communicate with the monster. That's what they were training her to do.
No. She discovered the monster, and then they wanted her to communicate with the monster. They were training her to kill people.
In the Soviet Union. Yeah.
They were training her to spy and listen to people.
Right.
Yes.
And then she discovered this, and then they got interested, and they started messing with something that they shouldn't have messed with, and opened up a doorway to the Upside Down world. So, and now she killed it, but I think she's still there, and I think that's why the chief is giving the egos and stuff. And then Will has got something going on in him, because he was in there for so long with those worms in there. And
it was stuck on his face there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't think I mean, I could see where it would be gone, but I think basically she wiped it off the right side up. And I think because if you remember in some of her upside down sequences, when she got distracted by the monster in the all black, the Russian dissolved into gray smoke, kind of like she and the Gorgodon did. Although I don't know if that was matter or blocks or what it was, but the Russian dissolved away. And when she was talking to Will, when she was in the pool, which was an amazing scene, they put her in that kiddie pool with all the salt. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
When she was talking to Will, suddenly the Gorgodon showed up and everything blew away like smoke, and she was in black again. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of ways they could go with it, even if they haven't decided. But I'm sure they know. But I obviously don't think she's dead. I don't think Dr. Brenner's dead because they didn't show us that. They just showed him getting attacked. Maybe the thing recognized him and left him alone. You know, if it was one of its.
Why would it recognize him?
Because he's been working with all these 1 through 11s.
Oh, so you're going on the theory that the monster is somehow.
I think it's tied to 1 through 10. It could be tied to 1 through 10.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, but listen, one thing I missed in the first time was when it was chasing Will in episode 1, and Will locked the door behind him, the slide key moved and came out, like something 11 could do, and the monster did it. That's telekinesis. That's the same power that 11 has. So does the monster have the same power? If so, is the monster like 11?
Just Ryan Kaiser in our chat room says, I think Will took a piece of the monster back, and that's what's trying to come out of him now and materialize in the real world. So basically what we've been saying, or part of what we're saying, is that Will has some of this monster in him.
Oh, I think definitely.
Yeah. Or this, I mean, we call it a monster. That poor thing's just living in his world. You know, it's like an animal living in his little world, and we came into his little world and messed with it.
we didn't. That was 11 and Papa. So.
But okay, it's okay. Y'all are gonna like totally think I'm crazy here, but you know, I mean, we build a house. We build a house, and there's all these grasshoppers living in the area, and we just take it over, and we just say bye grasshoppers, go somewhere else. And, you know, the grasshoppers aren't bad. They're just living in their area, and we take it over. And that's what's happening with the Upside Down. We discovered the Upside Down and started messing with them.
No, they discovered the Upside Down and opened a portal, is what they did, and they released a monster back up into this world.
I agree with that one.
Yeah.
You think they opened the portal?
Yes, they did. 11 left it open when she met when she made contact with the monster and came back. She opened the portal.
That's remained open.
The portal might have been open though. They were sending guys in there already.
No. The portal didn't open until the monster got out. I think at the very beginning of the episode, right before that guy ran into the elevator, she was in the Upside Down, touching the backside of the monster, and that's when it turned on her and came out when she came out.
Yeah,
she came out. So. She was in the tub, and the monster came out, and I think the lab felt kind of an earthquake. She escaped. The monster went after the lab guy, and the monster escaped. But somehow we've got multiple portals now because the tree was a portal. I think there was there's a portal in the shed. You know, I think Hopper found a portal with those boxes that he first found, and then when Brenner went back, there was ooze on the backside of the shed, where I think the monster created another portal.
Yeah, so I think once the monster discovered our world, which would be his Upside Down world, I think once he discovered that world, he was like, okay, I can make other portals and get through.
Right.
And that's where he would come through to get food.
He was coming through the hunt and to find host to reproduce.
Cass is like, what happened to all the nostalgia? That was a lot more fun.
I just drink my wine and listen.
I'll have another drink of wine. Oh, man. Well,
here's a little tidbit for you two that may not read comics. The comic that was bet in the first 5 minutes, X-Men 1 through 134, is actually the comic about the Phoenix, when Jane Grey turns into the Phoenix. You look that up. And that's like right in the middle of her.
It's in that YouTube video.
Okay. But yeah, it's right in the middle of where all that happens, and it's where she realizes her mental powers and unleashes herself. So
Cass is about to leave us too now, I think.
No, I'm just shocked that there's so much out there.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
These guys did their homework. Oh yeah, and must be the one video I haven't seen was the one Dwaine just put up.
I'm
But I've seen
gonna have
some
to
of
look at it.
5 minutes. But it goes episode by episode, all the references to E.T., Goonies, and Barb and how she relates to the girl in Goonies and things.
Oh,
like
see,
that.
I started getting overloaded with that, and I think that's probably why I didn't watch it. I didn't want to watch some more nostalgia when I watched the episode.
Oh, did it say Barb was in the Goonies, Martha Plimpton?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I could have made that video.
Yeah, you could have absolutely made that video.
I missed my calling.
Yeah.
Are the Duffer Brothers, is that really their name?
Yeah.
Yes.
We laughed every time we saw that come up. We're like,
Now they are
Duffer Brothers?
the incredibly rich Duffer Brothers.
I don't know how rich they are. I mean, this was maybe for season 2 they're getting money,
Yeah,
but for
yeah.
season 1 they just had a dream come true.
You say when they sign off there. Well, they were slated. They've been trying to direct It, the movie remake of It,
Ooh.
and they were never up for it. And they tried to get it, and then it didn't work out. However, Michael got casted to play the younger version of the main character in It, and they went back and forth where it had one director and Michael was cast, and they lost Michael for Stranger Things, but then that production got postponed, so they got Michael, the actor for Stranger Things, did Stranger Things, and then he went back with a new director and is starring in It.
Wait, who's Michael?
Michael's the main young character.
Oh,
Mike.
Mike.
Wheeler. Okay.
Yeah, so he'll be in
Finn
It.
Wolfhard.
Yeah, the movie
Wolfhard.
version of It, the remake.
No, there's so much going on in this show. It's just so fun to watch on so many levels. Not just the nostalgia, but I mean, I guess it is nostalgia, but it's a good show.
Yeah,
It's a
it
great
really is.
show.
Hopefully it doesn't go downhill like, some shows tend to do.
Yeah. How about the comic relief of the two officers, Powell and Callahan?
Well, that's kind of insulting, isn't it?
Well, they were kind of insulting, but I mean, they were kind of idiots.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny.
But it is a
Callahan's
small
kind of
town.
Captain Obvious. He just makes these comments that Chief Hopper looks at him like, what? Did you just say
I
what we all
love
know?
Hopper. Hopper is one of my
I do
favorites
too.
on the show.
Hopper reminds me of Andy Griffith and Longmire. He's
But
kind
did
of
you
a cross
like him
between
at
the two.
first? Yeah, I like Longmire. Did you like him the first episode, or did he grow on you like he did on me?
I thought he was very real the first episode.
Well, yeah, they're all
Yeah.
real.
I liked him. because
I
he
liked
wasn't
him.
perfect. Yeah, he wasn't perfect. He was kind of a broken person.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he'd kind of gone to a small town, back to a small town, and just wanted to be sheriff there. And I liked him from the very beginning. I
He's
didn't know
trying
much
to
about the
right
actor.
some wrongs in his life.
Right.
So, he's our hero.
So
What
David-
about? I loved seeing Winona Ryder aged.
Yeah,
You
I was
know-
going to kind of ask David if he did any research on how she got that part. Did they go after her, or?
Yeah, I think she was one of the only people they wanted for. She went for the Meryl Streep Sophie's Choice haircut, but I'm not a big fan of hers. It just recently, after we watched Star Trek, Davis came to me and said, "Hey, can I start watching the first and second one? So that he can watch the third one that comes out that we just did the podcast with Dr. Jill about." I said, "Yeah, let's watch it." And Winona Ryder was in that. She's Spock's mom, and I'd forgotten that she was in that. And she is great. She's got a very small part, but she's great.
Oh,
Yes,
the
she
new
plays
one.
the new
Yeah.
Spock. Yes, the new Spock's mom. Yeah, she's not that old.
We just
Yes.
saw that, and
Yes, that's her.
and
as
I
Spock's
was like,
mom.
where did Winona come from after all these years?
She
Yeah.
came from jail because she shoplifted and got picked up. But anyway, she
I didn't know that.
she got caught for shoplifting.
I think I remember something about that.
Yeah, but she was great in Star Trek. She had a very small part, but that scene was so emotional. But then, to me, she's been a good actress. But as this show progressed, I thought she was amazing. She really had to throw herself out there and be so emotional in almost every scene. I felt for her so much. It's so funny. The first time she ran out, the first time the wall moved, she runs out of the house. It's like the first or second episode, and Bailey's going, "Don't you turn around. Don't you turn around. We're watching it today." And my oldest daughter's going, "Don't you turn around. You get in that car and you run." And sure enough, she stopped, and I'm like, Bailey, she thinks her son is somehow connected to what's going on. She's not going to leave her child. And then watching the last episode tonight, I'm watching Hopper and Joyce go into the portal in the lab, and I'm thinking, you know what? If Davis is on the other side and I can hear him crying and I can hear him in pain, I'm going through that portal too. I don't know what I'm going to find, but I'm taking every gun I can carry, and I'm going to, I don't care if it's a wrist rocket or what it is. I'm taking everything I got to go find my son and get him back. I really felt for Joyce, and I think Winona should get an award for this or nominated for some TV award. I just thought she was so exhausted as this show went along. I thought she was great. And I loved Hopper's evolution, too. I liked him in the beginning, but I loved him in the end. I just want to know what kind of deal he made. because he really got out of some sticky situations with the government to get the access that he did. But if you're watching at the end of that last episode when Brenner and the child services assassin, whatever badge-carrying blonde that she is, when they're leaving, she's like, Brenner's like, they're not going to find him. You got what you wanted. Let's just go get the girl. You know, so it's almost like they think that the monster's going to take them as well, and they don't have to worry about collateral evidence or people. But I loved it. Like Cass said, this cast was very well picked. I think Netflix did a great job with everybody they found. I love that none of these people were household names that we knew from all these other shows. Netflix is hitting home runs, and especially with Daredevil, Jessica Jones, some of the other shows they're putting out, Narco. All these people are just good actors, but not household names.
And how are the major networks going to compete with this? I mean, if I'm doing a show, I'm going to want it to go on Netflix.
Yeah, how many
times
times
to go to ABC or HBO or AMC? You know?
Yeah, how many times have we said, you know, the first episode good, but next week I'll see what the second episode's like. Well, you know what? I've watched the first 3 over the first 3 weeks, and they're okay. But like with this, you can watch all 8 in a weekend, and it's going to get word of mouth and just blow up. So yeah, I think Netflix is going to be a channel for people that it's going to be successful.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the whole binging aspect. I'm just talking about the quality of shows that are getting put out by FX and AMC, and I mean, The Americans. Amazing show, would have never been on the regular networks.
Yeah,
you know, and Stranger Things, you would have had to tone it down to get it on the networks.
Never would it get to.
It could have been on FX after 10 o'clock.
FX it could have been on, and probably AMC. So, but anyway, Netflix is changing television.
I haven't seen a show on Netflix that I haven't liked yet. I haven't watched Bloodline, but
it's really boring.
Is it?
Well, I tried to watch it because everybody said it was so good, and it had Kyle Chandler, who's really cute.
Yes, I like Kyle Chandler.
And I think I watched 2 episodes, and
it takes a while to get into. Yeah,
it's pretty deep.
I wanted to know what happened, so I watched it all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay, and I enjoyed it enough that I kept watching it. So.
Well, I got into Narco because of the historical effect, and I love Narco. I can't wait for season 2. It comes out like next week. That's really good. About Pablo Escobar. That's really good.
All right. Any final things about Stranger Things or?
What was it called? Gorgodon? I got to look this up.
Gorgodon. Yep.
Yeah.
And what was the one at the end?
I don't know.
I don't remember the name, but I'm going to finish watching that episode when we're done here, and I'll post it on Facebook.
It's also in that video that I shared.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
That's
that
how I
kind of
knew
ruins it. I mean, it ruins the investigation or the, if you watch these things and you're like, oh, yeah, that's it. I kind of like to figure it out myself.
Well, I don't know that they're just speculating. It's all speculation.
Yeah.
It's not like the Duffer Brothers made the YouTube video.
Well, I'll say that
I'm sure Netflix did. I would. If I worked at Netflix, I'd have someone in there doing this Easter egg hunt or whatever.
Yeah.
There's not many shows that I would recommend going back and watching it a whole second season again, but I got so much out of my second watch. Even when Will leaves Mike's house in the first episode, in the first 5 minutes, only the lights on the garage flicker. The lights in the house don't move. They don't change. So it's almost like the beast was there looking at him.
The Gorgodon?
Like it was there, yeah, because it was within that time frame that it happened. Or then again, the lights flickering could have been because they did say the next morning there was some sort of power hit. So that was probably when she met it and the portal was made when the lights flickered. But who knows?
Yeah, Steve Helling just messaged me and David because he really wanted to be on the show, but he couldn't watch it quickly enough. Just watched episode 6, which explained what I assumed, that 11 opened the gate with her mind.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if Steve says it, it must be true.
That's right.
He's been to the Olympics, and he's gone Naked and Afraid. I mean, we can't question him. And he's BFF with Tim Tebow.
There you go.
Wow. Be Steve.
I know, huh? Steve.
Start calling him Gorga Steve. There you go.
Yeah. What about this Mirkwood and all these Lord of the Rings things? No?
The Hobbit. It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
Yes, it does. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on. And why did they kill the guy at the diner? I didn't want them to kill that guy.
I like that guy.
I was really not happy with that.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
Yeah, Benny, such a nice guy.
You're on a first name basis with everyone, David.
Well, I
He
just watched it again.
everything.
I've watched episode 1 and 2 today for the third
No,
time.
David knows not only the character names, but the actors that play every character.
It was funny because it took till episode 2 for them to go back to Benny's diner and find him, and Bailey's like, hello, why is this in the second episode? I said, honey, it's been like 24 hours. They just found Benny. Give him a break. This show's going to last like 3 days. This whole show goes like 3 days long.
It's not a popular diner.
No, it's not.
No, apparently not.
Just by those couple guys that go there every day.
No.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm excited for season 2, but
Yeah, we'll have to wait.
I didn't rewatch. I started to rewatch episode 1 today, but there were too many young people around, you know. And
Well,
you know
I'm
how they
looking
like to
forward to
watch stuff.
Oh, yeah. If
My
Mama's
second watch
watching-
has gone faster than my first watch.
Yeah.
Additionally, we just started watching Game of Thrones, so that's
Hello.
Like season 1?
we're in season 2. Well, we read all the books
Okay.
years ago, and we watched season 1 last week, and we're in season 2 right now.
All right.
So
That's
we're a
my
little
top shelf.
behind. We don't have a lot of time to watch stuff.
Right.
When do you guys watch all this stuff?
When our wives tell us we can.
Well, I'm off on Fridays and no one's home, so I generally watch stuff on Fridays sometimes if I'm not working, doing stuff around the house. I'll come home for lunch. I'll watch like an episode at lunch.
I take long lunch breaks and watch.
Well, I am now a stay-at-home mom, housewife of Texas, so
Yeah.
You got a lot of catching up to do.
You're a real Texas housewife.
well, I did make a mistake at back to school night when the PTA ladies, I made eye contact, which you're not supposed to do.
Oh, yes.
And then one of them approached me about joining, and
Yep.
apparently I verbalized what I was thinking and said, "Oh hell no."
Wow.
You thought
Which-
my look was to volunteer? That was a look of you're crazy.
Wait, did you actually say that to
Yes,
her?
I did. It has been confirmed by Mr. Cass that I said
did
what
she
I was
do?
thinking, which I'm known for. And I said, "Oh hell no," or "Oh God no," or something offensive to the demographic here.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, I won't be accosted for that again.
Oh.
Why don't we just let her daughter skip a grade? We'll get them out of here even quicker.
It's an adjustment, you know.
Hey, weren't you on that show with all
You-
those girls in bikinis?
Yeah, and I was the one in my underwear, ladies. No, it's interesting here. It's very interesting. A lot of people watch Survivor here
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Have you been recognized?
all the time.
Yeah.
It's weird. So we call it Middle Earth. We've moved to Middle Earth.
Wow. Now, where did you move to? Which city?
We're in Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock. Wow.
It's like
Yeah.
West Texas, Panhandle.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
It's a little different.
Ain't a lot going on out there in
It's
Lubbock.
very flat.
A lot of high school football. That's about it.
Yeah, apparently, you know what happened? We had some friends over, and we went to the sporting goods store, and our daughter wanted one of those balls that's shaped like a triangle, also known as a football.
Football. Yeah. Yeah.
So I had some kids in the car. I was driving home from the movies, and she was telling them about this new ball she got that was shaped like a triangle, and these girls looked at her horrified and were like, "You didn't know what a football was?"
Yeah.
So
Football is very big in Texas. High school football is very big in
Isn't
Texas.
that a religion in Texas? High school football?
Yeah, it's actually.
yeah, well, the Texas Tech is here in Lubbock, which is a
Yeah.
big football team.
Yeah.
And then our high school has a stadium as big. I don't know how many people it seats. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a very. You should go to a game.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Well, we're working up to it, you know. We're working up to it. I'm actually going to the season opener next weekend of the college. I've been invited, so
There you go.
I
See,
got
you're
some
already making
skybox
friends.
seats. Yeah,
You're already
Nice.
making friends because people in Texas are friendly for the most part.
they're super friendly.
Yeah. I'm a native
So-
Texan.
Are you?
Yeah.
What part?
East Texas. Tyler.
Oh, East. I don't know about the East.
Well, it's the East. It's
Yeah.
it's a completely different climate in the East. There's hills and green trees
Well,
and flowers.
yeah, we have a nice neighborhood with trees, but
Yeah.
we're about 5-6 hours from anything here.
Yeah. Well, you did move to Lubbock.
It's like living on an island.
Yeah, it's kind of its own little world. So
It's interesting.
yeah.
I'll get used to it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on the show tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, 80s, you know.
I know, man. It's great.
Poor Kelly.
I know.
Yeah.
She felt like a fish out of water.
Yeah, she was like, what am I doing here? You know, if you guys do this podcast for Stranger Things, you should get some like 18-sided dice and be like, roll the dice with D&D, and we'll talk about Stranger Things.
There you go.
Because D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
That's right.
You could have a lot of fun with that.
We really could. We need to
I still
hire
have
you
my
to be
I still have my dice.
I'm sure you do, and you probably have a Gorgon on it right now somewhere.
I wasn't allowed to have dice.
Oh.
I'll save the Gorgon for the next podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't get your Gorgon on out right now. It's too late.
Yeah. Don't show us your Gorgon on.
Yeah, Dwaine couldn't have a deck of cards with a Joker either. He could only have the regular cards. So.
Oh, he would be like one of the kids who can't read Harry Potter.
That is so not true, David. But my mom might not. My mom wouldn't let me have pets. My mom wouldn't let me have plastic snakes, and because they were bad. Snakes were bad. So.
Well, you know, I see that. I mean, I don't adhere to that at all.
But anyway. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching / listening. Thank you, Cass. We love having you on. Thanks for being a friend of the show, and love your shirt. It's a great shirt.
Yes. All right. I had to dig it out today. I was like, where's that shirt?
Yeah, it's like whenever company's coming over. What did they buy us for our anniversary?
Oh,
Look, make sure we hang it up on the wall.
Yes.
All right.
All right,
bye,
you guys.
everybody.
Well, have
Everybody
a good night.
say bye. We will.
Right.
Say bye,
Yeah.
David.
Bye, David.